welcome to the fourth episode of the Talk It Like a Man podcast. It is me, Christo, my friend Sam, and Josh, and we are talking to you from the future. We're obviously recording this before New Year, but then again, you don't know that, so Happy New Year to everyone listening, yeah?
Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. It's been exciting.
Has it been though, Sam? You don't know.
No, it's been exciting. I literally went home.
Okay. Josh, have you had or do you plan on having a very special New Year?
I will, yes. I have had a very special New
There he
Year
is.
as we're talking to you from January, and it was very eventful. Yeah, Happy New Year, all, and glad that we're all back in 2021. Hopefully, things will be looking up.
As if there's any other direction they can look at this point, Josh. Nevertheless, well, see, with us lying to you about New Year already being New Year, we've done some exciting things. Yeah, Josh, I think he leads the excitement category. He went on a very special trip for which he is excited now and will be even more excited when he completes. He'll tell you more about that in the next episode. I do hope so. Sam, he's been up to quite a bit. Sam?
Yeah, so much. So much.
So
I'm
much.
excited to talk about it.
I know. So, that being said, uh 2021 new blank canvas for everyone to paint on. It's a semester. It's a whole new vibe. We hope so. So, Josh, quick question: what is the number one thing that everyone coming back to uni or like generally beginning the new year should do?
Well, I think coming back to uni, starting uni, the easiest thing and best thing for people to do now is get involved in as much as possible. Obviously, as we've kind of alluded to, we are not actually recording this in January. So, what we need to look at is how people get supported back into communities, into activities, with things like the societies, and get involved in as much as possible this year.
Yes, there's so much that we can do because we know that students have been in isolation, especially students that weren't able to go back or travel back during the Christmas period. It's just um, kind of, especially our first years, who will be encouraging to get into all the societies that we have on campus. Look out for societies. They will be looking to have people on board. So definitely get involved just to mix with people that are outside your course, because I know it's been difficult to really get to meet other students that are not your course mates.
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity.
See, you hit it right on the head there because when I was in my first year, which wasn't that long ago, it was last year. Yeah, I remember it quite fondly. Um, Honestly, the best thing I did was get out of the my comfort zone, if that's what you want to call it, and just see what other things are happening. And honestly, if it wasn't for Josh, who was really supportive during my first year, I wouldn't have gotten involved in the psychology society, the movie society. I did debates even, and all of those were really really good. If not for the content, which they were good for the content, but the best thing they did was put you in situations you wouldn't normally find yourself. So like meeting people you wouldn't normally encounter on the streets or on campus, and just being able to establish those relationships. So to anyone, and this is like a public service announcement to all the first year students specifically, also to all other students that might find it useful, go out there and just join as many things as possible, especially now, because joining a society now is free. Unlike in times past when you had to like pay a fee to Kusu and then pay a fee to society, all free now. Literally your best opportunity to get involved with as much as you can.
Yeah, I think that the majority, there's a lot of them that are free now, but some you still will need to pay for, just to clarify that. But I do think definitely they're really easy to get involved with. What the majority of them have done is having free taster sessions, and then a lot of them are free throughout. I think what Hadisto said there is really key. That it brings you into different groups. A lot of people find peers amongst their own courses, and have those networks. But what the societies do is bring you in with like-minded people from a whole range of courses, which then gives you different perspectives and just different understandings. And like Callisto said, again, you can go to some of them and just see what it's like. You don't have to attend week in, week out. Some are more academic, and I know that's some of the stuff that I've been more involved with, more sitting down and discussing. But I know, Sam, you know a lot more about the sports societies.
Yeah, definitely. Like Josh has been saying and the history has been saying, it's exciting. University is just it gives you the opportunity to explore different things that you really had in your mind, but you haven't seen the opportunity to explore. When you come to university, it's an opportunity to explore. Like you can literally come and you haven't taken advantage of maybe you've thought about playing tennis or you thought about playing some sort of sports that maybe it's not as an international student it's not very popular in your country. You could just take it away with joining the sports club in
Yeah.
university. That's an opportunity for anyone. Like take part in doing anything. I know, for instance, that the sports we will do everything possible
Yes.
going forward, like in 2021, to start the process of returning to physical activities, which is exciting. I know I'm excited about that because I've been started having our students resume some sort of physical activities
Yep.
because that's
Yep.
what sports is all about.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. We
The
will
thing is,
I
definitely.
think it's
the thing is, on obviously the whole sports governing body at the university is doing its damnness to get us back as soon as possible. However, they are trying to have us back as safely as possible. Also, it's about striking that balance between the two. Sam again hit it right on the head. It's just about experiencing new things. I'll go back to talking about myself because I like doing that, and I know everyone else does. So for me, had I not joined the basketball team in my first year, I don't think I would have made it through because that was my place to socialize, and that was my like place of comfort. I met up so many people that I now consider friends, not just because they're basketball players, but because of the people they ended up being. So honestly, anything you can do, even if it's not sports, even if it's uh, as Josh mentioned, debates, anime society. There's honestly, even if you have the most obscure hobby, there's probably a society about it. And if it's not like a full blown society, there's definitely someone who does it too.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Like it's having that support network, having those communities. With a lot of the academic ones, you meet people first, second, third years master's students that are going through similar things and no kind of coping mechanisms, no ways of supporting that. I know that like the Psychology Society does stuff where they link in with the librarian, that will help you to understand the different ways of referencing the different support systems that are there. I know personally, it was actually a couple of people from the Psychology Society that I've met with since, kind of outside of society, that just to ask for advice and guidance and just to say, look, I know that you're younger than me. I know that like we've had different life experiences, but this is what you know about. You've been here longer. You can tell me where I can find the right support, the right help. And I think it's really key to kind of be able to say when you don't know kind of all of the things that there are people there that will support. And every person that I've asked in the uni, in any of the societies for support, for a bit of a conversation and advice, has been brilliant at putting that forward and saying,
Yeah, honestly, Josh actually mentioned something that's really key. You wouldn't get a lot done, or you wouldn't get as much support if you only like close your bubble off to people your age or like in your year or in your course, because people gain experience so fast, and that experience can be so helpful to you that it's like beyond imagination. Like some of the things that I can just easily do now, and I don't even think about them. I would have spent tens and hundreds of hours last year just figuring out how to do the most simple task. Now I'll be it's easy, obviously. And if someone comes to me and says, "Oh, I can do this task. How do I do it?" And I say, "Yeah, I'll show you. It's fine. Don't worry about it." And that's not because I'm the most altruistic or empathic person. I am, but that's not the reason I do it. I do it because it's the decent thing to do. And I'm sure a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, have come to people like Sam and said, "Oh, Sam, what the hell is going on?" Sam, what do you say when someone says, "What the hell is going on?"
I literally say, because I have a little idea of what I could, or maybe I have a little idea of what I can say, or because of the experiences I've had, I know how to respond to people, and it's just what we're encouraging. For instance, I wouldn't have been able to do this or do this podcast if I did not join the student media community, join the well-being community, if I didn't learn more, if I didn't open my eyes to different opportunities that KUSU provides for us, it wouldn't have given me this opportunity to get involved, volunteer, and even know about or understand the role of being a sport and well-being officer, and be able to run for the role. So
Yep.
it's all these things involved. The opportunities that you could do in university, that the opportunities that the university, that especially KUSU provides for us, that you could take advantage of.
Yep.
This is what it means to have the university go through you.
And it's so easy to get involved that it's not even funny. Like some people who said, "Oh, I can't fight the website, it's too difficult." Just Instagram it. Literally, it's right there. All of the venues have an Instagram page, whether it be kusu.societies or something.kusu. It's there. It's all there, and it's so easy for you to find that it's honestly, it's a shame if you don't do it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. And I think actually the society is the easiest access into kind of KUSU as a whole. I know that I started getting involved in societies and then I saw that there was the reps and saw that I could be more involved with that and supporting. And from that, I discovered that the faculty officers were a thing. And I think that is like it's the ground floor of KUSU and working to support students is with societies, and some they you don't have to go every week, you don't have to be involved in everything that each society does, but you can just do the little bits and take part. And like I say, some are a lot more, the sports things are more active, but you can get, there's movie society, you can
Yeah.
sit and watch a film once a
Literally
week
watch a
with a
movie.
group of peers. Yeah, it's so easy, but it's being part of a community and having a group of peers around you that are interested in a similar thing.
Yeah. Okay, so quick thing, okay? We've established that everyone listening to this should add something to their list of things to do during next year, okay? Get involved with something. Question now is, what do you guys plan on doing in the next year? So, if we have to put it in the more famous term, what's your New Year's resolution?
Well, I'll go first then.
Please do.
Oh, Sam, no, there you go, Sam. I saw
Don't
that hand.
fight. Don't fight. Just come on.
You go first.
I thought you weren't going to say, and then I saw you go to say, and I was like, oh. So my New Year's resolution is essentially to kind of continue what I have been doing. So I've
That's
been
not a
running a lot,
resolution,
and
Josh.
well, it is to keep it
Oh,
up. The resolution
fuck's
is to
sake.
keep doing the thing that
Okay,
I've only
okay.
just
That
managed to
honestly,
do.
that's probably the biggest cheat I've heard.
Okay. Then we will go for quitting smoking.
There we go.
Okay, is
That's
that a
a
better one? Are we
resolution.
happy
That's
with
a
that?
resolution.
Yeah.
And you know how everyone's talking about smart goals,
Yeah.
measurable, stuff like that's a goal. That's a goal. Quitting smoking. Okay, so if any of the 7 of you listening, if any of you see Josh smoking, you have mine and his permission to slap him on the neck. Okay,
I wouldn't advise that.
Sam, we go to you now. Please give us an actual resolution.
I would not advise slapping Josh on the neck.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Josh is very very well versed in fighting techniques. So if you do, make sure you run very fast.
For me, it's I've been through a very, very difficult year. Um, so
I'm sure
my
that's just you.
yeah, no, everyone's been through a difficult year. My dad passed away in
I do
December,
apologize.
December 2019, and his birthday is today. So it's a good thing that I think about. You know, I'm happy, which means that I've moved on and I'm in a happy place, and I wish him so much. Like I'm grateful that for his life and everything. So it's just transitioning to next year. It's now about filling myself with so much happiness and positivity and doing my things rather than, because for a long time I was focusing on pleasing so many people. So I'm gradually getting hold of myself and working on myself and working on what I love. Um, to be honest, like during this year, some of the things that I've literally held on to that have helped me go through this period is some of the mental well-being podcasts I've been listening to, meditation. It's just trying to feel myself with, trying to be calm and to sort of go through the process with the help of people who have gone through the process, i.e., my uncle, who has helped me along the way. So reading books that encourage me to like bring more positivity into my life, gratitude every day. That is very important. Rather than waking up and thinking about what difficult thing is in line for you, maybe waking up and saying thank you for the fact that you're alive.
Yeah,
Yeah, trying to look at the
yeah.
positives and working
That's
from
like
there.
if you can adopt that mindset, it's like life changing. Because if you look at the things happening to you through the lens of I am I'm the victim, that's only bad things, like having anything good hasn't happened to me in 7 years. First of all, it probably has. It's just you deciding not to look at it. And if you try and look for the good things, you see so many of them. And Sam, again, right on the head, saying, you being here, that's good enough. So,
Yeah,
if,
and I think
please.
I was going to say I think that there's like little things that you can do as supporting when you're not having as good a day. And I know that actually a thing that one of my friends used to do was a happiness jar where they would have a jar and they put when they're feeling good, they put in nice comments and compliments and things. So when they were having a not so good day, they could go and read something from that jar that would help them improve, and just give them a bit more of that positive outlook and understanding that there are things there, and although times are tough, some of the time it's looking for the future and how we can improve them and the little things we can do to better our day and better ourselves.
Definitely, definitely. It's I'm grateful that I have been able to put myself into more positive stuff like this, because these are kind of little things that help you through, like looking forward to things like this, talking about positivity and helping people. And you can only I see it as, obviously you can only give happiness if you are happy.
Yeah. So actually, what I would be curious to find out is how you found meditation, because that's something that I've never actually done, but I've seen kind of things about, and you reference in there. I'd just be curious.
Oh, well, I it was thankfully to my uncle, because my uncle is started this spiritual journey before I came to the UK. So when I came, he kind of introduced me into the whole act of meditation and everything. And it was slowly like inducing into 3 minutes guided meditation. It's just basically putting out these thoughts on, putting out the positives of meditating. And it's not one thing that I learned the most is not to try and control my thoughts, because your thoughts will always be there. They will
Yeah.
always be there. It's just about sitting still and letting your thoughts flow around. They will disappear at some point, but it's just not trying to hold on back to them. But it's a
Yeah.
really good uh, mechanism to stay calm and positive and kind of shift your mindset.
Yeah. What's a good place for people looking to get into it to take a look?
It could start by literally Google searching for videos or posts on YouTube. Just
Yeah.
start by that. You don't need to close your eyes. You don't need to sit down somewhere. Just play it in the background. Maybe when if you're not so much of a light sleeper, you can play it in your sleep. Just play it and go to sleep for these very long ones. Or possibly when you're reading, just play in the background. That's if you're in your own personal space. It's just kind of getting into the groove of listening to calm music.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get into?
It did take a long time. It did take more than a year because for a long time I tried to always control my thoughts, which was difficult. You always fall into that, but it's just helping yourself to say, okay, sometimes don't beat yourself around. If you can do 2 minutes today, fine. If you did 30 minutes yesterday and you're expecting to do 30 minutes today, it's not always like that because your moods change, and it's fine for you to do 5 minutes today and say, yeah, it's all right, but at least I've gotten in some kind of positivity, some kind of calm mindset in your daily life. Just don't beat yourself about it.
So you're saying that even though it's like a taxing process and it takes a while, it's definitely worth getting into, yeah?
Yeah, it is worth getting into. I recommend meditation to any single person in the world because it does help every single kind of person. It helps you through your daily life. It's just for me, I feel it's just as important as praying or having your quiet time or even eating because you need some time. It could be that time you use to relax, that time you need to relieve yourself of stress.
So so do you think kind of it was different, kind of the loss or getting into meditation because you were male, or
Um, I thankfully I already started meditation before I lost my dad, which was
Okay.
good. It was part of the mechanisms I used to stay calm and get over it. It don't get over it because you can never get over grief.
Yeah.
It comes in different ways. Like things remind you of it, and then even if it's cry because you're happy, you're happy for where he is at the moment, you still cry and all that. So you never get over grief. It just helps you through that. Thankfully, I did start meditation before my dad died, so it was one of the things that helped me push through it. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word, pushing through it.
Okay.
The difficult stages. So it's for me. Obviously, we encourage it for men to take into consideration, like doing meditation, and it's difficult sometimes because most of the time we find it difficult to sit down with our thoughts. I know we had this conversation in the first episode.
Scary stuff.
When
Sitting down with your thoughts.
people would rather take an electric shock than to sit down with by themselves.
is there a reason that it was your uncle that you spoke to about it? Was he the closest? Was it easiest to speak to him? It just interested, really.
Yeah, it was easy because it was my uncle, and I lived with him, or I'm still living with him, and I saw the impact in his life because I didn't meet him in 2015, and his life then and his life now are totally different, and that thanks to so much of the work he's put into his well-being through meditation and all the other practices that he's accompanied or he has put together with meditation. So he was easy. I was living with him, and he knew that he was into the practice, and he just had to introduce me to it. And the good thing was that he didn't push me. He just let me decide when. He will always send me all these little videos, all these short videos on YouTube, and it was at my own timing that I decided to.
Yeah, I think that's a really key bit, having that kind of that bit of positive encouragement and not the pressure. I know that with when we started talking about societies to begin with, actually the reason that I got involved with them was my sister spoke to me and said that that was something that she regretted. The reason that I started doing the little bits of running was because I spoke to people and said how helpful it was. But with both the societies and the running, it wasn't hit the ground running. It wasn't doing everything to begin with. Yeah, I liked that. It was doing the little bits and getting involved slowly until I felt more comfortable in those situations or doing those things, and then trying to improve and doing as much as I felt comfortable as that grew.
Yeah, it's very few things that you just take up and straight away be amazing, or like you be able to do them just like that. Most of them take time, especially things as important and as influential as meditation or even running. That'll take time, and it's fine for you to fail at it at first. So no one ran a 5K the first time they ran, just like no one was able to meditate for 45 minutes the first time they sat down. And Sam mentioned that it took him, what'd you say, like almost a year, yeah, to get to where you are now, and you still have room to grow. So, and that's another great thing about it, that it's not like it's not something that has a cap. You can always continue like improving on it, or just trying to like expand your horizon when it comes to the activity you've decided to pursue. So I think both of those suggestions are really really good and suitable for like different groups of people that are looking to get into something that will actually like keep them busy, but also help them improve the way they feel about themselves, if that makes sense.
And I think having that outside encouragement, speaking to people and letting them know kind of what your goals are. I think that's the one thing about New Year's resolutions, how we kind of started this discussion. I think by saying our resolutions, they become more concrete, and then we have people that will hold us to account for them. So if it's to run more, if it's to meditate more, if it's to stop smoking, whatever like the thing is, if you don't tell people, it's easy to let yourself not like slow down, like
Yeah,
if it yeah, relapse, slow down, whatever it is, because otherwise if you've got other people there, tell people about what your plan is.
yeah,
It
they'll
doesn't have
keep
to
you
be the
accountable.
world. Yeah, yeah.
Very much so. Very much so.
And it's very important because there's no person in this world who is very consistent with something. At some point, you relapse because we're humans. At some point, you might relapse. It's about also having those people to help you to regain your confidence and keep pushing again. Because for me, in meditation, sometimes you go weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you haven't meditated, and it's totally fine. It's just about not beating yourself up about it, because sometimes from time to time you have someone um, reminding you, or you even reminding yourself, okay, it's fine. Okay, today I'll just do 1 minute. Okay, tomorrow I'll
Yeah,
just do 2 minutes. Oh, tomorrow, okay, yeah, I haven't run 5K in a long time. I'll do 1K today. Or
yeah,
tomorrow I'll do 1.5. Okay, next week I'll do 2K. So it's about gradually getting back
yeah.
to pace.
But at the same time, it's good to have someone ask, did you do that 5K that you said you're gonna do? Huh? Oh, did you actually quit smoking? So it's again, it's about striking that balance of having people to hold you accountable, but also knowing that even if you fail to meet all the expectation, that doesn't mean you failed on the quest that you've embarked on. It just means it's going to take some extra steps, and those are usually constructive.
Definitely. Well, it's wow, it's a wonderful tangent that we veered into.
Yes.
Like
We've really deviated from where we started. Nevertheless, I kind of think that's like a good way to put an end to this and let people kind of absorb the things that we've spoken about. It's been a pleasure once again, gentlemen. Sam, thank you for giving us a really great like insight look into like meditation, things you can do to uh, get over difficult times. Also, bringing that sports spirit and insight of the plans of the uni. Josh, again, thank you for uh, giving us actual resolution this time. Not trying to hide under your own little. I would like to keep being myself. Okay, Josh, come on. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
No one wants to be themselves. So I do appreciate you being honest and giving us like a little, uh, again, inside look into society stuff people can look into to get more involved and get out there. As for me, uh, I apologize for not contributing with anything. For anyone that's counting, that's 7 inappropriate jokes now. And we look forward to seeing you in 2021 and when the next episode comes out. So, goodbye. Have a
Yeah.
nice evening and stay talking.
Yeah, so if you all want to submit your New Year's resolutions to the Instagram, it is at Talk It Like a Man. And the podcasts are all now available through Anchor. So that's Anchor, like an anchor on a ship, .fm/Talk It Like a Man. And that's where the links to all the variety are. It's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts. There's lots of different things. And keep letting us know how things are, what improvements you would like to see, and how we can keep making this the best podcast for you.
It was great talking to you again.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.